So, I'm sure you've all been looking at weed wipers and looking at the price of them, and then looking at the other options such as wicks and fibre blanket type things you can get. There's also things on eBay where you can buy like a frame for the front of the quad and some sort of like wick device that works with a sprayer. Anyway, I had a look at this and I've decided I can do it cheaper and better, and I can. So what you need is a piece of 32mm pipe, which you can get from B&Q, some paint rollers, which you can get from B&Q, some irrigation pipe, which is like sweaty pipe you use for irrigating plants. You need a 20-litre container, and sorry about the sunlight, and a fitting to connect onto it, and some cable ties. So, very rudimentary, but here is a very simple weed wiper. Now let me show you how it's working. Now what we've done, all these quads are the same. You've got the upper, if you've got the bars, you've got the upper bars and the lower bars. So I've spaced it out here with a piece of 1x2-ish there. I would have used 2 bits of 1x2 here, but I had that kicking around. It's a 1x1, don't matter. So, little A-frame like that. I have then connected a broom handle here. I have screwed my piece of 32mm pipe here on. And then I have cable tied my sweaty pipe along there. Now, I've had this sitting here for about an hour now. And look at the flow rate. Yeah, there's a little drip. There is from any weed wiper, but that's only a drip because it's sitting here stationary. If it had been wiping any weeds, it wouldn't be dripping. But if you see, look how effectively that pipe is dispersing the water, because that's all it is in at the moment, water onto my rollers. Now what happens is, as you pass over the weeds, these have got just a little bit of movement, little bit on that 32mm, and they are going to roll. Look at that. These are going to roll beautifully. So, and look how much water they hold. Hang on, let's go away where you can see. They hold so much water. So the likelihood of drippage is minimal. So what have I done? I've drilled through my 32mm pipe and I've screwed it on. I've put a cable tie here to stop that getting caught and not spinning anymore. Same at the other end. I've cable tied this on. Could screw it, doesn't really matter. And then what I've done is I've made sure that that is not quite touching. This is not quite touching. Watch the drips. Boom. It's not quite touching and is in front. And the idea that it's in front is that any of these bigger drips will shield, the rushes will hit that. Control systems. Okay, so it turns out the perfect flow of water is to cable tie a hose pipe like that. That seems to be the perfect flow of water. Cable tied like that. On and off. Okay, so I bought myself one of these which fits on a 20-litre. That's an IBC fitting. That's the like hose outlet for an IBC fitting. They're like £6. So how do you turn it on and off? Well, that's on. That's off. Like any weed wiper, it's going to take a while for the the actual the working membrane to get to be clear of herbicide, but still nice, simple, quick, and cost me about £20. Now, considering the cheapest you can find these is about £550 for something that bolts on the front of your quad, and you also need a sprayer to go with it. I reckon this is going to work quite well. Now I appreciate that everyone's going to be not sure about this. So my next video is going to be, I'm going to go and take this out, and I'm going to go and take a few passes on different places that are you know, so different heights of rushes, thick ones, thin ones, all different kinds of things. And then in a week or so, I'm going to do a second video showing how successful it was. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but for 20 quid, I think you might find it's going to be bloody ideal. So yeah, there's not really much more to it than that. The sweaty pipe works well. I call it sweaty pipe, whatever the hell you want to call it. You don't need to use that piece of pipe there. It just happened to be stuck in there. Just get a hose clamp a hose fitting. Yeah, I mean, this actually drips less than most weed wipers I've seen. That end, I've just cable tied the sweaty pipe over and over again. It's just cable ties, a couple of bits of 2B1 and a broom handle on a 20-litre container. This looks ideal. So, there's your weed wiper, and the next video is going to be of how well it has done. Cheers for now, guys.